KELOLAND SportsZone Saturday starts now.
The Sanford International wraps up, and it's a busy weekend on the gridiron. Welcome to SportsZone Saturday. I'm Grant Sweeter alongside Anya Joseph.
We've got a load of stories planned for you today, and here's what you can expect.
First, we talk with SDSU as the Jackrabbit football team is gearing up to play at Southeastern Louisiana. Then we go to Augustana, where standout running back Jared Epperson is getting one more year with the Vikings.
And then later, we talk Sanford International as a familiar name came out on top. And finally, we take you to the Shields Iceplex, where they've had to temporarily close due to an equipment issue.
And before we get to those stories, let's first take a look at the top sports headlines from the past week.
The final round of the Sanford International was played Sunday. We begin on the 12. Steve Stricker knocks in a birdie putt to move to the 9 under for the tourney and into the lead. Fast forward all the way to the 18th. Richard Green trails Stricker by 1 and needs a birdie to force a playoff, and he does just that. The two tied at 8 under. They matched each other on the first 3 playoff holes, and on the 4th, Stricker has this approach shot off the left side of the fairway. Here's a closer look as it rolls to the hole and clanks off the pin. I know, before a settling few feet away, which set up Stricker for this upcoming putt as he secures his 3rd straight Sanford International championship.
Well, moving to high school golf, the second round of the All-City Boys Tournament was Monday. We pick it up on hole 14. O'Gorman's Jaden Antonin converts on the par putt. He finished 2 over on the day and sits in sole possession of second place for the tournament at 7 over. In the next pairing, Tyson Blom from Lincoln sinks his own par putt. He carded a 5 over for the round and sits tied for 4th with 2 fellow Patriots. Ahead to the 15th, Tayton Mooney of O'Gorman taps in the easy par. He was lights out for the day, registering a 5 under 67. He's now 1 over for the tournament and leads the field by 6 strokes. And on the team leaderboard, O'Gorman sits in first at 23 over par. Lincoln is second at 50 over, followed by Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Washington.
The SDSU football team is now 2-1 on the season following their victory over Augustana to close their 2-game homestand. Now the team is headed down south. SDSU heads for Hammond, Louisiana to take on 1-2 Southeastern Louisiana, a team that head coach Jimmy Rogers believes will showcase some talent.
We have a challenge ahead of us, play a really good explosive team in Southeastern Louisiana. They got great team speed on both sides of the ball, really physical O-line and D-line, and a bunch of playmakers.
The Jackrabbit defense has held teams to less than 6 yards of play, generating 16 tackles for a loss of 57 total yards.
We got to do a good job of being physical up front. We got to do a good job of making tackles. We probably going to get caught in some one-on-one situations at times on the perimeter and run game, or even in the interior line. They're going to present a challenge, though, for sure, and we're excited about it.
Senior quarterback Mark Gronowski has been intercepted 4 times so far in the young season and sacked twice for a loss of 13 yards, something the Jacks need to improve upon.
It's going to present challenges for us up front, and we just got to respond to those things. Mark's got to do a good job of making the correct decision and eliminating error. And so excited to see how those guys respond. I know they'll be excited about the challenge.
Despite the outcome, the team is looking to continue to grow.
The goal is to constantly improve. I don't think that we're going to be what we are right now, week 8, if you ask me that. We weren't that in 2022. We weren't that in 2023. And surely with a bunch of guys that are taking reps or more reps than they've ever taken, they're only going to get better. So I have confidence in that.
SDSU and Southeastern Louisiana cross paths today at 6 p.m.
Well, the USD football team returns to the Dakota Dome for the first time in 3 weeks today as they're set to host Drake.
The Coyotes lead the all-time series 11-8 over the Bulldogs, but now the Bulldogs are coming off a big win 2 weeks ago.
Ironically, didn't play last week as well as they had a scheduled bye, but coming off a win themselves over a Big Sky team out at Eastern Washington, which was a great win for them.
USD and Drake will meet Saturday at 1 p.m. in Vermilion.
Augustana and Northern State are set to renew an in-state battle today as the Wolves make the trip south down I-29. Augustana has won 14 straight games against the Wolves. Augie is 18-1-1 as the home team, with their lone loss coming in 1926, meaning the Vikings have won 15 straight home games versus Northern State.
You know what you're getting with this football team. You know what you're getting with this football program. You know what you're getting because they have a great coaching staff. They've got great kids. They got great people around them.
Northern enters the contest with an 0-3 record following a narrow loss at Minot State. Hank Kraft is a sophomore running back from Timber Lake, and he'll present challenges averaging more than 5 yards per carry.
He's a really good football player. It's hard to find behind their offensive line. You know, they have a very, very big offensive line, especially at tackle. So we're going to have to fit ourselves, make sure our fits are right defensively.
Augustana used 2 quarterbacks in Game 1. Gunnar Hensley was unavailable against SDSU, and 2 other quarterbacks got hurt. This week, Hensley is day-to-day, while Thomas Skolton is likely out this week, according to Coach Olszewski.
I think that we have a plan on how we're going to attack each guy, at each position. But at the same time, their offense is what their offense is, and it's not necessarily about that. It's about how we're going to execute.
That internal focus will be key for both the Wolves and Vikings come Saturday.
This game for us is not about Augie. It's not about what they're trying to do. Again, there's no secrets on what they're doing. This game is about our execution.
Until we are our best, we got no business worrying about how good somebody else is. And that was last Saturday, too. We didn't play our best game, and against a team like South Dakota State, you need to be your best. So until we hit that mark, we're going to be hungry for improvement.
Augustana and Northern State will meet later today at 1 p.m. You can watch the game live on Kello Extra and KELLOLAND.com.
Well, staying with Augustana, standout Jared Epperson was one of 16 seniors in 2023 to play their final season for the Vikings, or so he thought. Now the all-conference running back returns to Augie for a 6th year with the program. Jared Epperson left his mark on the Augustana program in his senior season, capping off 2023 with a career-best 1,067 yards and 11 scores.
After last season, I thought it was wraps. I thought I was done with college football forever.
Jared began the NFL draft process, working out at a local football training facility and taking part in the USD Pro Day.
Wasn't really getting much traction with any pro teams, Europe, CFL, NFL, so then I just kept training, going to tryouts, and staying in shape.
Epperson got a job working at the Minnehaha Country Club earlier this summer. One day, Epperson was golfing with wide receiver coach and recruiting coordinator Casey Brink when the idea of playing football started to take shape. Epperson got injured during the 2022 season, playing in just 4 games before suffering a season-ending injury.
I thought my medical waiver, I thought I was past the amount of games I was allowed to play from the injury season in 2022, and I guess the appeal just never got filed or anything like that.
I see it for everybody else. It's the first time it's happened for us, though. So I'm really happy. It was the right thing. I mean, by rule, he only played in the 4 games, so it was a paperwork issue.
Once Epperson heard the news, he had to make the decision to continue training for the pros or return to school.
I had a lot of conversations with Coach OJ, my parents. It all came down to, my parents said it was my decision to make. They didn't want to influence anything on that, and I thought it was the right decision.
I was just spitting truth at him and said, here's one side and here's the other, and if your true goal is to play football after college, I believe this is your best opportunity to continue to do that.
Epperson is now back on the field for the Vikings, looking to take advantage of another season and potentially someday reach the pros.
I want to still try to play more football. I think this is my best opportunity to try to make that level of play, so I think this is what's working and how I'll be able to play more football after college.
Now, Epperson is just a few hundred yards away from setting the Augustana career rushing record. Well, as we mentioned, Steve Stricker reigns as champion once again at the Sanford International. We'll hear from the champ and the tournament organizers when we come back. Steve Stricker won the Sanford International each of the last 2 years, first in a playoff in 2022, then by a single stroke last year.
As KELLOLAND's Ian Sachs tells us, the 57-year-old made it a three-peat Sunday with a 4-hole playoff win.
The victory at Minnehaha Country Club was Stricker's first title since last year's Sanford International. He lost his father over the course of the year, which gave this win added significance.
This one's probably more special for sure. like I said before, for my dad, for being a three-peat, Andy North, a special connection with him and Susan and the people of Sanford, I've gotten to know pretty well over the years.
Stricker entered Sunday tied for third. He shot 3 under on the day to catapult into the lead before Richard Green birdied 18 to force a tie at 8 under. The two parred each of the first 3 playoff holes. Then on playoff hole number 4, Stricker's tee shot landed just off the fairway. From there, he drove his second shot right at the cup, and it hit off the pin to land mere feet away, which set up a birdie putt for the championship.
I heard the people starting to get a little bit more excited, and I could see the line was looking good from where I was at, but I'm just glad it hit the hole and stopped, a couple feet away, and you don't expect to hit that.
The Wisconsin native has now won 4 times here in Sioux Falls by claiming the last 3 crowns as well as the inaugural championship.
This is a home field, home course advantage for me, with all the support I get and just the familiarity that I have with the course and the friends that I've made here over the years. It's a sweet spot for me and a special win.
Now, Stricker is the first player to three-peat on both the PGA Tour and PGA Tour champions. He won 3 straight John Deere Classics from 2009 to 2011.
It was a successful weekend for Steve Stricker, but what did the tournament organizers have to say?
Well, KELOLAND's Travis Fossing recaps the tournament from the weather and the champion to take down and looking ahead to 2025.
Mother Nature definitely helped us out this week. There were no complaints on that part of it.
Tens of thousands of golf fans enjoyed 3 days of sunshine during the Sanford International at Minnehaha Country Club.
Great fan support the entire week. I think it could have been our biggest event since COVID, honestly. And so to see everything come together after a long 12 months of planning from our team's perspective, I'm very lucky to have the team that we do.
The gallery of fans witnessed history on Sunday as Steve Stricker outlasted Richard Green on the 4th extra hole, the longest playoff in tournament history. Stricker hit the flagstick with his approach shot and tapped in for birdie to earn his 3rd straight championship.
He owns this place. I mean, we joke that it could be the Stricker International after too long here. I mean, 4 wins for him. So many people stuck around to watch the playoff.
Yeah, it's hard to win, and I didn't hit the best of shots at times coming down the stretch, and I just gutted it out and found a way.
The Stricker International marks Steve's first win on the PGA Tour Champions of the season and his first victory since the death of his father in January.
I've been trying to win one all year for my dad that we lost in January, and I just haven't been able to get it done. So to do it here, to get a three-peat, Andy North being the host, this place is special to me.
Sunday was something special, but Trozen says the Monday after the tournament is the worst day of the year.
All the adrenaline's gone, and we have to do a lot of manual labor to make sure we can give the golf course back to the MCC members.
And then it's back to work preparing for the 2025 Sanford International. In Sioux Falls, Travis Fossing, KELOLAND News.
Stricker will take aim at a 4th consecutive crown next September 8th through the 14th at Minnehaha Country Club.
Well, the Shields Iceplex had a key piece of equipment break, and now they're forced to temporarily close. We'll have the details next.
The Shields Iceplex has been forced to temporarily close because of a problem with their chiller system. KELOLAND's Jordan DeSmit visited the Iceplex earlier this week to find out why some people will have to find a new place to lace up their ice skates.
Staff at the Shields Iceplex started noticing issues with all 3 of their rinks last Wednesday.
Typically we run at about 18, 19 degrees. Well, they were starting to climb up into the 20s.
When they called for a repair, they realized there was a major problem.
It was, it's an issue inside of our chiller unit that's deep inside this vessel that we don't know what the exact issue is yet, other than the ammonia and the brine are contaminated, and that can't happen to run an efficient system.
The chiller is a critical piece of their operation.
Without the chiller, or really without any of that mechanical room back there, but the chiller being the most important part, you can't make ice. And that's kind of important when you're operating an ice rink.
The issues with the ice have left figure skaters, curlers, and hockey organizations like the Sioux Falls Flyers and the Sioux Falls Stampede looking for a new place to skate.
So, but Augie's been great. As they've opened the doors since last January, they've started to take on some customers, sell some hourly ice to other customers. Well, when news came out about our issue here, I know their phone was ringing off the hook.
In the meantime, staff at the Iceplex are hard at work.
We actually had someone come in with a truck and a blade, and he kind of scraped, along the concrete, and then pushed out as much ice as we could, what was left of the ice, and now it's just all liquid.
It has been a little hard work, but we turn up the music. We all know each other pretty well, and so it's the best work of people that I could do this with, honestly.
In Sioux Falls, Jordan DeSmith, KELOLAND News.
The Iceplex is estimating that it will take at least 8 weeks to get the rinks back up and running. We'll be right back.
As Rapid City grows, so does the number of athletic events in town. This past year, the Rapid City Sports Commission has helped bring in new tournaments for pickleball, tennis, and more. KELOLAND's Tyler Louder spoke with the commission about what you can expect in the future.
Rapid City is known for hosting events such as LNI and state high school tournaments, but it's branching out.
Whether it's standard sports, your favorite ones that everyone knows about. Now we're doing bodybuilding, BMX, tumbling and trampoline, like all of that. It's great. It just opens up the eyes of our community.
New events also include sports through the South Dakota Special Olympics and the Rapid City Flame.
Just this last year started working more directly with the Sports Commission, which has been fantastic. And we're hoping that we can continue that partnership and keep moving forward and promoting events to come to this area for our athletes.
These tournaments can see hundreds of athletes traveling to town to compete, which helps out the local economy.
On average, it brings in a couple thousand people at a time for our events. So I'm sure for league events and things outside of Special Olympics, it's got to bring in a lot more. So I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great opportunity for the city.
The Sports Commission looks to start planning for the future seasons early.
We're doing a Black Hills National wrestling tournament in April, obviously state basketball stuff, and there's just a lot of things going on, and we're usually working about 6 months ahead of schedule just to make sure that things are shaping up.
In Rapid City, Tyler Lauder, KELOLAND News.
Now, the Special Olympics state bocce and softball tournaments began Thursday and run through Sunday evening.
It seems there's tournaments for just about every sport on the weekends. And this upcoming weekend, there's a tournament for a rising sport, competitive video games. KELOLAND's Summer Roddershot tells us more about the esports event and how for some, it's fun for the whole family.
For the Bergen family, video games are a family affair. When the Bergen brothers were younger, they bonded over gaming.
When I went to college, we would play StarCraft. That was one that you could play online. So a way for us to keep in contact since we're too cool for telephones.
Which is why this weekend's esports tournament is the perfect event for the family.
It's going to be a way for us all to go there and probably struggle a lot.
On Saturday, gamers will gather at the Sioux Falls Convention Center to participate in the free tournament being held by SDN Communications.
There'll be Super Smash Bros, Mario Kart, Valorant, Fortnite, Rocket League, and then we've also created a custom racing simulator that people will get to sit like in the cockpit and drive our delivery truck.
Players will also be competing for over $5,000 in prize money.
For most of the games, the top prize is $250. There's also second and third place prizes. We also have really cool trophies.
While winning the tournament would be fun, the Bergen family is just excited to do it together.
Just to hang out with family. Can be a good time.
In Sioux Falls, Summer Roddershot, KELOLAND News.
The tournament begins today at the Convention Center, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to SportsZone Saturday. Well, we talked a little bit about the college football happening today, but now let's break down each game for today's action, starting first with USD and Drake. Now, it's the first time in 3 weeks that the Coyotes have returned to the Dakota Dome. They lead the series 11-8. Last time they played, they beat them by 70 points. Pretty good game for USD. And you look at the records there, and it's actually been kind of interesting, Anya, because USD had that whooping cough last week on Portland State's team, so they didn't get to play. And Drake, their first game of the year, got to halftime and then a storm hit and it was ruled a no contest. So both teams have had a game not played for a reason. So it's only 1-0 versus 1-1, even though we're already a month into the season.
I know, and I feel like for USD they got that extra time to practice and really ferment themselves, and I think that they're going to have some things to showcase on their meeting with Drake.
Well, and one thing, so Drake is coming off of a bye. So they also have had 2 weeks, but their whole time they've been focused on just USD, right? They went on their bye and go, we got 2 weeks to get ready for one of the best teams in the country. USD all last week practiced for Portland State, so they don't have as much preparation for Drake. So maybe Drake will come in with a good game plan later today. We're going to find out. Now, kickoff for that set for 1 p.m. in Vermilion. Anya gets the trip to go down there and see that game in person. We will not have anybody down in Louisiana as we move to our next game now. SDSU taking on Louisiana. Anya will not be headed down there for that game. But you look at this, Anya, SDSU plus 18 in the scoring category. Some of that taken away by Oklahoma State playing really well. But Southeastern Louisiana minus 73. They have struggled this year specifically defensively.
I think that SDSU knows that they do have these struggles, but they are still going to look at the game and capitalize on themselves. I don't think that they're going to be too much worried on what Southeast Louisiana is going to do to, probably knock them down a few pegs, but they're ready to get back up.
Well, that's what we saw last week with SDSU, right? I wondered if they didn't focus enough on what Augustana could bring, and kind of was a lackluster win, right? The offense barely got to 20 points, So maybe this week, if they focus on themselves a little bit more, they can have that success. They're 2-1, kickoff 6 p.m. tonight in Hammond, Louisiana. Turning to another big game going on, it's an in-state matchup. Now, these teams have met 41 times, dating back 101 years. 1923 was the first time they played. It's been 14 straight for Augustana. Last time Northern won was 2003. That kickoff is at 1 p.m. And then finally, USF will take on Bemidji State. All-time series is 4-3. Last year, Bemidji State won. USF's undefeated, though. It's a big matchup. 1 p.m. kickoff today in Sioux Falls. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, here's a look at the calendar quickly before we go. USD at Drake, USF Bemidji State, Augie Northern. You can watch that on KELO Extra and KELOLAND.com. Roosevelt Brandon play today, and then SDSU is on the road.
Well, thanks for tuning in to another edition of SportsZone Saturday.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you back here next week.